To you from parts unknown. Well, a little bit late, but better late than never. How is everyone doing tonight? I appreciate y'all tuning in, and we'll wait for people to get into the chats, and I'll wish Clarence Thomas a happy birthday. Dan Scavino posted this. I hadn't heard anybody else talk about it. What am I missing? Did y'all know it was Clarence Thomas's birthday? Well, now you know. And I got a picture of a little bit of lightning hitting the World Trade Center building. So that's kind of interesting. So I hope I'm getting a good signal. Once I get some people in the chats, I imagine they'll be letting me know. And unfortunate news that we're going to discuss. What's the ramifications? On my thumbnail, I put Mr. P instead of Mr. T because they're poking the bear. And have they crossed the line? I don't know. I didn't have time to make a thumbnail, but they used American missiles. Okay. No question as to whether the intended targets were a military or civilian because it was a beach. And unfortunately, there was a loss of life. So two kids, 5 fatalities out of that. There were 2 children. And we'll discuss that also. There may be retaliation. I would not be surprised. And already did one video called Poking the Bear. So this is, okay, a line crossed? I don't know. We'll see. Hi, Candace. Cleanup. How you doing? Sherry, Robin, nice to see you. Kicking Bird, Kim, Gloria, for freedom. Lucy, nice to see you all. We get people rolling in. I want to thank everybody for coming into the chats tonight. And everybody who, hi, William. Everybody who joins afterwards to see what was going on. Don't forget you can look through the chats after the video's been up for about, I don't know, half hour, 15 minutes to half an hour. The chats replay. So while people are coming in, I want to, not to criticize, but hi, Pippi. Nice to see you. Nice to meet you. Hi, Debbie. So not to pick on anybody, but, I've seen multiple people, not any one person. People say, oh, I don't trust General Flynn. I don't trust, or Pence is a traitor and all that kinds of. Well, I'm just going to talk real quick about Flynn. And I'm going to play a video I played before, but hey, we got to get the newbies that are tuning in to see some of this stuff, right? And we got to discern, because we know there are some people who are on our side and some people who aren't. But I do believe General Flynn's on our side. So as people roll in, I'm going to play this video. And for new people that tune in, listen to the points he brings up. It's a diplomatic way of pointing out what some of the most severe problems there are in this country right now, and also something Mr. Trump, President Trump, alluded to when he was doing his interview with those 2 guys on X. I don't know what the name of their show is, but it got a lot of attention, some of the comments that Mr. T made.
Great leaders. They understood that there was something not right. And Eisenhower was really the first to warn the nation that, hey, there's this thing called the military-industrial complex, and we've got to be careful of it. Fast forward to John F. Kennedy, he actually called out the CIA, made the comment, I'm going to break it into a million pieces. And you have to ask yourself, what did he know? So for 40 years, we have this Cold War, giant programs that are being built. But that Cold War, it gave rise to the things that President Eisenhower and President Kennedy warned us about. The military-industrial complex, the intelligence services at the time, we now know in Kennedy's assassination were part of his demise. It's like, how did we ever get here?
So he was diplomatically bringing up the military-industrial complex, and I want to remind everybody that President Trump did say just this weekend that the C.I.A. was probably behind the Kennedy assassination, and he couldn't, he didn't directly condemn him, but there's stories like that coming out now, and they need to come out, and that, I'm going to keep repeating it, keep playing it, and General Flynn's putting it out there, what the dangers are. We all know subliminally what happened while we watch this statement by Flynn. We see Kennedy. We know what happened to Kennedy. And hey, as we go through these broadcasts, we're going to walk through history. We're going to walk backwards through history, through the present history, and we're going to discuss the future. Now, we got these debates coming up with Mr. T. How you doing, Wayne? Tennessee. How you doing, Island Girl? Stephanie, nice to see you. It's nice to see you all. All right. So, General Flynn was attacked straight off. He was the first one to have the intelligence service, the three-letter services to go after him, and that was James Comey and the FBI, okay? And he admitted it on tape, and so we know Flynn's going to be part of Mr. T's administration, and Donald Trump also said he's picked a VP candidate. So he's going to announce that at the convention. So we're going to keep an eye out for that. And some people are still, I got an article where George Will, let me see if I can find it. If I find it, I'll pull it up. George Will jabbering on one of these cable stations. Oh, well, Trump really ought to consider Nikki Haley. Yeah, in a pig's eye. Was it George Will or George Will. He is a rhino, okay, just plain and simple. And not a very bright one at that. Here we go. To prove what I'm saying. Trump should choose Nikki Haley as VP, said George Will, The Hill, Sunday, News Nation. Well, Jack Posobiec put up a post. I didn't get a screenshot of it, but he just typed out that Nikki Haley was making fun of Trump and Biden on SNL of all places, Saturday Night Live this Saturday, saying it'd be like watching two dead people run. So we can scratch off as far as VP. Vivek, we talked about that last time, our last broadcast. Now you can scratch off Nikki Haley because that kind of joking around isn't very funny, and she's not she's a rhino. So there you have it. Hi, Melinda, how you doing? Baba, a Google account. Yeah, they're building blackmail on Vivek. Melvita, Wanda, Debbie, let's see. Nice to see you. So, let's see. I've got, who's this guy? Is this guy going to replace Jean Pierre? Looks like Weird Al Yankovic been on a long drunk. Meet the new White House Associate Communications Director. This is from Citizens Free Press. So I guess he might be out there giving updates and answering questions. Somebody else put up, let me see. If you want to know how bad off things are getting, where in the world did it's another shot of, I guess, I'll see if I can go. Oh, here it is. Here it is. Get a load of this, folks. Oil London put this up. What are those? I guess that's the same guy. Says this is Biden's new White House Associate Communications Director. Not the bald one, okay? Don't get worried. It's not the bald one. It's the one with the mustache. Don't go assuming the worst. So Tyler Cherry, who identifies as non-binary, is anti-Israel, pro-Palestinian resistance, anti-police, anti-capitalism, pro-BLM, and calls to abolish the police. So, supports extreme anti-Semite Linda Sarsour, calling her a fierce Muslim woman, wants to stop all arms shipments to Israel. So, that's for the scrapbook right there. There you go. I don't know if this is more of forcing them to show their rear ends and get the Americans who haven't woken up to, quit farting around and just wake up. But there was a funny clip I'll have to show you. A screen grab. I'll have to describe it to you because I couldn't do the actual video because I'll tell you why. This young man here put on his screen. Did you all see this? Look at his screen. It says emergency alert. It's got a counter counting down. And his uncle's sitting there with that blue do-rag on, right? And the kid said, it says nuclear strike incoming. And the reason I didn't get a screenshot of it, first of all, there's a lot of foul language. But main thing is they've recreated the emergency broadcast alert signal. Beep, you've heard it, bang, bang, deet, deet, bang, bang. You can't recreate that. Of course, what I just did was not an accurate recreation, but you're not allowed to recreate that and broadcast that signal. Somebody did it once on a meme and got in big trouble. Excuse me while I was sipping my coffee. So anyway, you got to imagine that an emergency alert is going off while the screen's counting down and it says nuclear strike incoming or whatever it says on there in the red. And the young kid saying, I don't know what are we going to do? He said, why'd you vote for Biden? He said to his uncle. And his uncle's going crazy, saying, we got to go somewhere. We got to do something. And the kid said, well, the only thing we can do is go to the police station. That's the only thing we can do. And the uncle said, the police station ain't got to do nothing. We got to do something. And the kid says, okay, well, let's get under the bed. And, of course, the kids are pranking the old guy. And they start moving the bed, and the uncle goes, that ain't going to work. We got to do something else. And the kid says, well, it's like they taught us in school. You put your hands over your head. You get underneath the bed, put your hands over your head. So anyway, he had him really, really going with the prank. And he says, because you voted for Biden. So that ain't that funny, though, when you consider the fact that that they did what they did on the beach in Russia, okay? Hi, Richard, how you doing? Miss Mindersu, nice to see you. Ha. So, anyway, it's a funny clip. I guess I could have took the sound out and watched you show him flopping his arms around and all that kind of stuff. The only thing, the truth about the matter is, that is not an impossibility. And people better start thinking about it. I have got a clip with these debates coming up. I don't know. What if Trump said, listen, all this stuff you got going on abroad. You want to make me a special envoy with special powers? I'll put a stop to everything. But he said before that he had to have the presidency to do it. But anyway, this is just to remind everybody how Biden's base is fracturing, okay?
In the White House, you know that Joe Biden used to cultivate an image of himself as this nice, kind Uncle Joe. Now he is no longer the comforter in chief. He is known as Genocide Joe.
So that stuff's going on, and it ain't quieting down. And I don't know how they're going to tiptoe around it at debate. Like I said the other night, Biden's the one who's got things to answer for. Okay? Not Trump. But did you catch how Trump said, and like I said before, I must be a physic. Like Trump said during his rally, he said, how should I approach it? Should I come in strong? Should I come in hard, or should I go soft? Remember that I was talking about that you know, there's different strategies. I know he already knows how he's going to approach it. And their main strategy is going to be the Obama-Romney strategy and the Biden Paul Ryan strategy. They're going to be smart aleck. They're going to be just like their base. Okay, they're going to be rude. They're going to throw up statements and questions that are insulting and try to mock Trump. And Dana Bash and Fake Tapper are going to be in on it. Okay, so that's my prediction. Biden's going to want to come in strong and come in control, and that it is beneath him to deal with Trump. So, this is for newbies. New to the channel. Just remember what's going on.
People would ask me, knowing what you know now, do you wish like you had a third term? And I used to say, you know what, if I could make an arrangement where I had a stand-in, a front man or front woman, and they had an earpiece in, and I was just in my basement in my sweats, looking through the stuff, and then I could sort of deliver the lines, but somebody else was doing all the talking and ceremony. I'd be fine with that.
Yeah, he'd be fine with that. We know you'd be fine with it. But they know that they're in trouble. Otherwise, they would have never tossed this offer out to debate Trump. If their constituency was strong, if they were in a good position, they would be playing the convicted felon. Biden should have to debate someone who's a convicted felon, blah, 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 and try to act like they're above. But they can't, because their base is crumbling. Did you all see AOC? Hi, Andrew. How you doing? Debbie. Quilt. Phil. How you doing? Let's see. Hebrew Hammer. That's right, Debbie. He's shot. Joe's shot. I got a couple of clips from him so we can compare, all right, what he did in the past and put it in our memory banks to if this debate happens. It's still, it is not 100% that it's going to happen. But here's a picture I found of a even though it's a different subject. Sky News. This business of the phony Fox News poll has gotten all the way around to Australia. It's gone all over the world. It's a phony bunch of garbage. As we know, Fox News is owned by Disney. Biden 2 points ahead of Trump. But here is a picture they used. Now, they put this up today, and you can tell it's an old picture. I suspect it is during the Obama administration. And we take a good look at it. Obvious things to any obvious observer, normal, just casual observer, things would be obvious between this picture then and the present Joe Biden. His hair plugs, okay? The texture, the thickness of his hair, he still has hair. Well, in this one, his earlobes are attached, and he has the Joe Biden look. All right, the way he's looked, even in his younger days, you could transpose a picture of him from the 80s, 90s over this picture, and there would be nothing no big difference. Okay. This is before, as Trump said, don't you think he's changed? I think he's shot. He's just shot. But don't you think he's changed quite a bit? So anyway, we know the 2 point thing is crapiola. And here's another video. You can find them on all over the place. I don't know if they get suppressed, in your area or not, but Black and White Network, they only have 7,000 views in 2 days. The shocking video emerges of Joe struggling to get in an SUV. He couldn't pick his foot up far enough, and they don't show us the resolution of the how he finally got in there. But anyway, let's take a look before my stream gets a little too seasoned. I've got a couple of clips of Joe when he was debating. Let's see if I got anybody wants to go back and forth with me. A liberal in the chats, you're welcome to chime in. Hi, Em. How you doing? Phone news. Yes, Richard, that's exactly right. Yeah, that's the real one, Debbie. That's the real one. That's our baseline. At least it's my baseline. Do you think I'm reasonable in having that as a baseline? Now, let's take a look at this one, this video. Now, this was September 2019. All right, that's after Joe got his urban renewal all over his head. So I'll play it and watch his energy, the strength of his voice, the clarity of thought, and the title down there, seems like Joe, this was the only time Joe stuck to his word.
More things, because things have changed. As a president and Joe Biden. Joe Biden did everything in his power to make this happen because he wants it to happen. What I would do as president is several more things, because things have changed. I would, in fact, make sure that we immediately surge to the border. All those people are seeking asylum. They deserve to be heard. That's who we are. We're a nation that says if you want to flee and you're fleeing oppression, you should come.
So he kept his brains together. It looked to me like the earlobe was attached. But here's a little bit more of a clip. And this one didn't have a date on it. But he's looking more rubber-faced, but I think this is still the same Joe. But this is the kind of stuff he's going to have to defend also at the debate, because they said the topics were going to be immigration. Okay, so let me cut my mic off. You see Bernie there wiping his forehead. Talk about a has-been. But anyway, let me cut my mic off and play it.
Deal with securing the border by national technical means. All the bad things are coming through ports of entry right now. We don't need a wall. And by the way, I would immediately, as president, surge to the border. I would end this notion for the first time in history that people seeking asylum have to be in squalor on the other side of the river and in a desperate situation. They should be able to come to the United States and have a judgment made as whether or not they qualify. I would also surge to the border, immigration judges to make decisions immediately, and no one would be put in jail while waiting for their hearing.
Should undocumented immigrants arrested by local police be turned over to immigration officials?
No. In the first 100 days of my administration, no one will be deported at all. From that point on, the only deportations that will take place are commissions of felonies in the United States of America.
So to be clear, only felons get deported and everyone else gets to stay?
Yes.
There, he said it plump and plain. He had the plan all laid out, but one reason I played this was to show you when he's hopped up, cracked up, coked up, Adderalled up, whatever they pump into him. Now, granted, this was in 2019. I'm not sure the exact date. I don't know how much of his faculties have collapsed, or even if that. Well, do you think that's the one we saw in the first picture? I don't know. So this is the kind of crap they have to defend right here. And they haven't hid it. And the media does not talk about it. But you can't get any more plump and plain than this.
The only way we're going to have a great future in America is if we welcome and embrace immigrants, the dreamers, and all of them, because our ultimate goal is to help the dreamers, but get a path to citizenship for all 11 million or however many undocumented there are here.
Get a path to citizen for all 11 million or however many there are. Not just dreamers, okay? That is what they're going to do, is provide these people with ballots. Hi, Jeffrey. Yeah, I mean, I don't think Russia would have them. Not after today, not after that missile launch. They launched, I think, 5 missiles. They were all intercepted. But this is the civilian beach where vacationers were. And they all got struck, but one of them had debris fall and cluster munitions fall out. And that caused 5 people to be unalive, 2 of which were children. So that is a serious issue. And almost simultaneously, there was a synagogue attacked in Russia. Where is that one article? Well, I have part of the aftermath screenshot. I didn't get the video because it is graphic. Citizens Free Press put up video of slain Russian police officers. There were at least 2 of them who responded to a terrorist attack on a Jewish synagogue in Dagestan. That was right after the assault on the beach. So, hi, Pippi. Pippi Lou said a Russian holiday. Yeah. So, They're quiet, and that ain't good. I went to see from my Eastern news services what the responses would be, and it was not mentioned one time. I said in the past, when I don't see stuff coming out, makes you a little nervous, as to what their response might be. Because they're not screwing around anymore, I'll tell you that. Well, back to Joe and his goofy prospects and his goofball supporters. They're falling apart. Did you get to see AOC? Here's two videos back to back that came up. Okay, Blaze TV. You guys, that's George. You know him. Miss Carla M. Campbell. This is the communist-tied woman. Is this communist-tied woman Biden's worst nominee ever? And look at that bug-eyed thing sitting there. But anyway, down here, I'm going to get a shot of that picture of AOC. That isn't Photoshop. That was her in the middle of her babbling. AOC humiliates the entire country, and Jamal Bowman back there, Mr. Fire Extinguisher or Fire Alarm Puller himself. They made idiots themselves in New York at the same place where Trump had his rally. Let's see what I got in here. In the hood, Brooklyn, and they had about probably 200 people show up. And out of the 200 people, a bunch of them were Palestinian protesters, like the video I showed you earlier, saying Joe was, all these horrible things, right? So this is Bad Hombre. Said AOC, Jamal Bowman, and Bernie Sanders were driven out of the Bronx by angry protesters threatening to board the coach bus where they hid in fear. And it showed the video shows all these people with Palestine. I said Brooklyn earlier, Bronx. With all these people with their hijabs on, their black and white checkered stuff wrapped around their heads, and all the Palestinian flags, and screaming and yelling, and they got out of there like a cut hyena. Let me tell you, it was funny as could be. So they have this fractured base, and wouldn't it be something if Trump offered some kind of intervention? Because Joe and them aren't going to take it. They aren't going to give him any kind of exclusive powers to deal with the situation. But most everybody, even if they don't like Trump, know that he can be the hammer when he wants to. In negotiations, he can talk smooth with people, or he can drop a hammer on them. So I don't know. It's just a notion that I find very interesting. But when you have articles come out like this, here, what the H? AOC makes bizarre entrance with Cardi B blasting and spazzing. Spazzing out. How would you like that? At Jamal Bowman rally in the Bronx. And there she is, look at her. Stick her finger in there and wait a minute, I got a little clip of her babbling. I guess it's kind of let me see. It doesn't show her hopping all around the stage, but hey, we got to give her fair. Did I put it in here? Yeah, here it is. There she is. She is not going to live this down. She's going to go in hiding for a while. Here, let me cut my mic off. See if you can make. I can make out the word Gaza, but see if you can make a pinch of owl poop worth of sense out of this jabber and gibberish. So whatever that was, and then you had Jamal Bowman get up there and babble and scream and yell, "You try to hurt my family," picking up a stool, walking around like some kind of gang member, a thug. And so it very unbecoming, the mainstream media. If Trump did anything near this kind of behavior, it would be all over the place. Look, here's Midas Trash Network. Trump was joking around. He said, if I were to take my shirt off, because he said, I've got beautiful, luxurious hair, and when I want to wash my beautiful hair, the faucets they make people use now don't have any water come out. If I were to take my shirt off, you'd see a beautiful body. He's joking around. And here's a guy, first time I've ever seen his channel, and I'm on YouTube a lot, I admit it. Never heard of him. 50,000 views. And Trump saying, I'm beautiful shirtless. Trump descends into utter confusion on stage. 50,000 views in 4 hours. From a total unknown in my book. So you know what's being done there, folks. What's being pushed. And it ain't channels like this. And I'm not monetized. I don't want their money. And I don't want them staring at my content harder, giving more reasons to take my content down. Oh, it's not suitable for advertisers. So I don't want that crap. So anyway, but it is very skewed. And some people get help and others don't. Like, here's another. Midas, that wasn't Midas Trash. That was that kid I just put, Luke Beasley or something like that. This is Midas Trash. What are they picking on Barron for? Now, this was came out 4 hours ago. And 242,000 views in 7 hours. Barron, what is happening? Is Barron Trump embroiled in $300 million crypto scam? What is their basis? See, they put it in a question. I've done that. If I wasn't sure, I don't want to get in trouble for libel. You don't say Barron Trump is embroiled. You say, is Barron Trump embroiled? Okay? Because Barron Trump would have quite a bit better basis for suing. He's a kid. He's 18. And he is not. Melania is keeping him out of the public eye, trying to live as normal a life as they possibly can. But these creeps are not going to let that happen. And they crossed the line many times when Barron was a minor. So now that he's an adult, they're just throwing some kind of smear out there. So we'll see how that pans out, because I'm keeping an eye on a number of things, especially these attorneys I've talked about in the past that are doing videos and putting out ridiculous legal constructs and leaning on their licensing, their education, their title, okay? Esquire. Let's see what happens to them putting out phony crap. Because here's one Forbes put out. And I took a screenshot of this because it's important. Trump leaves $500 tip at Philly cheesesteak shop. Sounds confident. Why is that important? Well, a couple of things. Number one, it's pushing out there to everybody. no tax on tips, right? Because that $500 tip would go down to $291 or something, whatever the taxes out of it come to be. And but the other thing, how many times have you seen these trash channels that get magnified, amplified, put up, Trump walked out on his bill at the Dairy Queen. Trump didn't pay his bill at the pizzeria and never put in a correction. Damn lies, okay? Not big lies, damn lies. So here, Trump left a $500 tip. And leave those videos up, you creeps, because I hope the Trump family can go right through them all and sue your all's eyeballs out of your head. They will collapse under the weight of their own illegality. That's what I say. So, let's see what everybody's doing in the chats. Oh, I got to get AOC down. It looks like she's getting ready to take off like Superwoman. Am I allowed to say that? Here we go. Let me put this up. For the newbies. Everybody that hates Trump, he was in office for 48 months. 48 months. And that's the truth. Remember who was that? Rosanna Dana? So you got these clowns. Right there it is. And it's probably an old meme. You probably tack some years on this. Okay, Chuck Schumer, Nancy Pelosi, Biden. Go ahead and side with them and have your childish hatred for Trump. Your 12-year-old hatred. Continue to run around the living room with your arms spread out like a little 12-year-old pretending you're an airplane. I hate Trump. Okay, at some point you're going to have to act like an adult and see what's really going on. And you're not going to get treated like an adult until you do understand what's going on. So, and like I say, I welcome anybody out there who has a differing opinion. I will treat you with respect if you chime in the chats. And my fellow chat members will also treat you with respect, right? So, hi, Raven Wings. How you doing? Nice to see you, Lone Wolf. Jersey Joe. How you doing? Oh, yeah, Bubba. Hey, I've said the court system, the education system, it's all going to be reworked. We're going to restore our republic. We have, MT is propaganda. But they get millions of views. They get preferential treatment, and people only know what they hear. Hi, Phil. How you doing? Just looking through here, see what's going on. Let's see if I missed anybody. If I did miss you, I apologize. I can only go so far back in the chats. Hi, Roland. All right. So let's see. What was I jabbering about? I was jabbering about these corrupt system. And let me tell you, Fanny is down there. It's French. Fanny is down there in Georgia fighting for her political life. And you've got this other judge who's under fire. He supposedly had an ex parte meeting. That means with one side and the other one not know about it, or they can have ex parte meetings, but he's accused of having one without everybody knowing about it, without it being done under the rules, and all kinds of stuff going on. And on top of that, here we got two stories I took a screenshot of about another judge in Atlanta. There's a before picture on the left. And before she gets arrested, this is Nate the lawyer. I watch some of his stuff sometimes. He's a good guy. Georgia judge's wig takes flight, getting arrested brawling with cops. And there she is up in the corner. I would have never known that was a wig. So anyway, apparently she was all drunky-dunkied up at some club somewhere. And one of her buddies was mouthing off at the cops. And here's another video, another young girl I watch, Melanie King. She's funny. Corrupt Atlanta judge gets arrested for attacking cops in Fulton County. And it doesn't show her with her wig knocked off, but she says, thug racist judge. And I got a video of the Bodycam, came out about an hour before I was setting up my studio. So I said, well, let me get a copy of this video. Wait a minute. And it's wild, you know. And I think the one causing trouble is the friend at the beginning. But if you watch in the lower right-hand corner, you'll see the wig laying on the ground. It looks like somebody kicked a rat's nest or something. But anyway, she's got it on her head 1 minute, and then it's off the next minute, and then she's mouthing off at the cops. You know how they always say, Florida man did this, Florida man did that, and he got to be a meme, you know, they're Florida man. And so I don't know what they're going to talk about, Georgia judges or Georgia judge, I don't know, a Georgia lawyer or whatever, with all the crap that's going on in Georgia. But anyway, let me go ahead and play it.
No, he can punch me. Everything for no reason. Right? Let him fucking go. Let him fucking go. Let him fucking go. Let him fucking go. That's a cop. Shit. No, I didn't. I don't punch no. Don't touch me.
Ma'am.
Take me where you want to take me.
I can't take
no,
you. I don't
take
have any
me.
identification.
And I don't care. You don't need the identification. You have locked people up, and you have picked up dead bodies where you don't know who bodies it was, but you picked them up. Take me where you need to take me.
I'm trying to.
No, take me where you need to take me immediately, expeditiously.
You prevent
Take me. I could give a damn. Take me where you want to take me.
So how do you want me to take you somewhere expeditiously?
Now, take me where you want to take me.
Now, ain't that something? You know, I'm watching a case where this guy, he loves to aggravate cops, and he got himself arrested. They charged him with obstruction and all, resisting arrest, and he got 6 months in the joint and didn't do near what this woman did. Not anything near what this woman did. So what do you think? What do you think she's going to get? What do you think she's going to get? You know, not much. Not much. If it, you know, the cop will probably get fired as crooked as this bunch is. So anyway, yeah, we're live. The cat, how you doing? Nice to see you. Oh, they're all tied together, Jersey Joe. Yeah, they're friends of Fanny. Friends of Fawny. You know, I try to remember that most of the time it's it's daylight over there in Ruski land when it's nighttime over here. So they'll be getting up and figuring out what they're going to do about this beach thing. I could have got some footage, but I didn't, because I don't like putting that kind of stuff on the air. And it's families running in fear, and that somebody lost their life, and that there's probably going to be some big consequences. Now, Trump has said many, many times we're heading into World War II. Now, our World War III. The other thing that was making the rounds in the news, and I grabbed a screenshot of Frank's channel, NPC show. New 9/11 plot twists, video leak. And did you all get to see some of these videos? Now, you got to remember, this is over 20 years old, okay? And, yeah, they were going all around the Capitol. They were taking footage. They were taking pictures outside showing the relationship to the Jefferson Memorial, to the Capitol, and stuff like that. And they got some inside footage of the Capitol hallways. And that's not remarkable, even 20 years ago. That is not remarkable. You can get aerial photographs of the Capitol showing you where everything is laid out. You have people that have been getting interviewed inside the Capitol in hallways for decades. It's not hard to get footage of stuff like that. But this at least gets people to think about 9/11 again. All right. Now, some people were calling for putting restrictions on people who can video in public buildings and things like that. Like there's going to be, people, who are exercising a First Amendment right are all going to be like these terrorists, right? But we'll have to let it wash out. But at least it's putting 911 back in the public consciousness, because people forget. And when you try to talk about it, like for decades after the Kennedy assassination, oh, it's a conspiracy theory. Oh, Building 7 fell 20 minutes after they said it fell. Oh, that's a conspiracy theorist. Okay. Well, now what's going on with these conspiracy theories? They're coming out to be true. And I don't know if I have any lefties out there still hanging with me, but I'll show you something that's going around that most of the people in the chats have known about for decades. For I'll say at least half a decade, up to maybe 8 or 9 years ago, we knew about this right here. At least this got 1.3 million views, but it's 4 months old. King Luxury. New videos of billionaire kids on Jeffrey Epstein Island go viral. And I remember the one on the left. The kids were dressed up in these little white and pink outfits, matching outfits. And they were going around like taking jugs of water, silver goblets of water around. There were flower arrangements and inside some kind of bathhouse. It was very, very creepy and unnerving. It was like, who would allow their children to be little servants or like water nymphs servants for who? Oh, I see the picture on the right. For somebody like that, who in the world would allow their children to be like that? But that video I know was at least 5 years ago, maybe 8 years ago, came out with those kids. And people were going, oh, you're making a big deal out of it. Big deal in a pig's eye, especially when we find out what's going on, what happened on that island. And we're starting to find out. Hi, Angela. Yeah, my voice is a little better. I did have a strain that I had to let heal, which can be aggravating. Yeah, it's all part of their conditioning. So we got the 9/11 stuff coming out. We've got this stuff coming out from the beginning of the video. I showed Flynn talking about the Kennedy assassination. All these things are going to be of great interest to the majority of voting age Americans. That's what we want. And at the same time, we're going to be seeing things like that new communication director, AOC, acting like an idiot, like a fool. And on top of that, we've got this clown here is going to have a hearing tomorrow, and they are scared you-know-what-less about Judge Cannon. That's why they're attacking Judge Cannon. They're finally disclosing to the public that 2 judges tried to intimidate her out of the position. Excuse me while I was sipping my coffee. This happened some months ago. Okay? But they're acting like, oh, well, we're reporting, that these 2 nice judges were trying to let her know she was in over her head. What is this kind of sexist garbage? She's not in over her head. She's doing exactly what she should be doing. And she's going through everything, making sure they're playing according to Hoyle. She's discovered where they have altered evidence, okay, where they have buried important information in illegal filings, unlawful in the way they filed their papers in such a manner as to obfuscate, okay? She's checking in to Jack Smith. Who is this person? What's his qualifications? They had one television program where the news, air quote, news lady was saying, there are going to be parties at the hearings tomorrow that aren't part of the case. That is very unusual. Bull. They couldn't even get a lawyer to go up there and say that. They had to use some relatively new news chick to say, oh, there's people coming to the hearing that aren't part of the case. Yeah. Representatives for former Attorney General Edwin Meese, okay, filing what's called amicus briefs, friends of the court. It happens all the time. She doesn't know what she's talking about. It's a bald-faced damn lie. But they're telling everybody, well, they're bringing in these strangers to the case that have nothing to do with it. In a pig's eye. They have amicus briefs, friends of the court, at Supreme Court hearings. The U.S. Supreme Court and state Supreme Courts accept amicus briefs and review amicus briefs and give them legal weight. Okay? Oh, boy, I'd love to be on one of those programs one time, even with a damn lawyer, even though I'm not a lawyer. I'd slap them around. But anyway, yeah, we suspect Belgium. Andrew, did you see that picture of the Queen of Belgium I put up? That's weird, isn't it? His claim to fame is he was in the Hague under the auspices of a foreign power, supposedly conducting investigations. There are word on the street that I heard that investigations into Jack Smith and his cronies for extortion. Okay? Speaking of extortion, who was that attorney that told one of Trump's attorneys that his potential judgeship he didn't know he was up for? You know, if you play your cards right, you could be a judge. If you don't play your cards right, you won't be a judge. Okay? That's extortion. That's coming out too. So Eileen's Cannon's doing wonderfully. But the attacks on her are increasing. They said, here is an article where I didn't get the title to the article, but I have the body of the article, which, let's see. This is where Kersner said, Judge Eileen Cannon is looking at the law upside down. Judge Eileen Cannon, who's presiding over Donald Trump's classified documents case in Florida, is practicing the law in a, quote, upside down. MSNBC legal analyst and former federal prosecutor Glenn Kersner, he's got a YouTube channel, said on Friday, who the hell is he to run his mouth about her? In a video posted to his YouTube channel. Blah, blah, blah. He's a frequent Trump critic. Criticized Cannon's procedure. Then they go into the history. He's due to stand trial before the Department of Justice on 40 charges. You know, who doesn't know this, okay? They're just hammering it home that implying Trump's a criminal. I ain't going to go through all that crap. But on Friday, the court began a hearing of Trump's motion to challenge the legality of Smith's appointment. They have argued that Merrick Garland's appointment of Smith. Now, wait a minute. The hearings in Congress, they would not say that Merrick Garland appointed Smith. Okay? They would not say it. They would not say that Jack Smith is directly answerable to Merrick Garland. Okay? Garland lacks the legal authority to appoint special counsel who hadn't been approved by Congress. Smith's team, meanwhile, rebuked the argument. I heard on one of the MSNBC shows, they said that the Justice Department dismissed the arguments. Now, it seems innocent, but dismissed is inferring that the Justice Department has some kind of legal ability to what? Dismiss a charge, dismiss a claim in court? No, they don't. They can argue against it, but they can't dismiss crap. All right? Kersner told Newsweek BFO on Friday, I don't expect her to grant Trump's motion to dismiss or qualify Jack Smith as special counsel. I would like to see her have him arrested for contempt of court, for being somewhere he has no damn business being, and for allowing all that paperwork to get scrambled up and obfuscated, okay? And for repeatedly filing briefs in violation of the rules of evidence that they were warned against doing. He referred to Cannon's delay of the case as practicing law in the upside down. Boy, you keep it up, Kersner. I'm going to keep an eye on you. We're going to watch your career with great interest. Presumably referring to the alternate dimension featured in the popular Netflix show Stranger Things. The fictional dimension exists in parallel to the human world. Kersner said on Friday, at some point it's got to end. What kind of idiocy is that? We're talking about the President of the United States, Donald J. Trump, okay? Whether you like it or not, 45th President of the United States. Okay, and a federal judge hearing a case, you idiot, and you're going to bring up Netflix Stranger Things? Who's on the board of Netflix? Oh, that's right, Barack Obama. Oh, I'm sorry, Barack Hussein Obama. He added the only way to bring it to an end is for Jack Smith to file and fully litigate a motion to recuse, a motion to remove Judge Cannon because of her impartiality might be reasonably questioned. Well, you idiot. He's already had those 2 judges try to intimidate her. She told those 2 judges to go pound sand. And if Judge Engoron can stay on his case, and Judge Kaplan can stay on his case, and if Judge Mercan, whose daughter's making $90 million off of this stuff, can stay on his case, the hell with you, she can stay on hers. There have been calls for Smith to ask for the U.S. Court of Appeals for the 11th Circuit to remove Cannon from Trump's case, which Smith has yet to act on. Smith's the one who better be worried about some kind of action being taken. Newsweek has reached out to Cannon through the U.S. District Court for the Southern District of Florida to comment via email on Saturday. They also reached out to Kersner, who responded, I guess, with this goofball analogy, talking about a Netflix. You idiot. You puke. Let's see. In his Friday video, Kersner criticized Cannon's repeated delay of the trial and failure to select a starting date. 9 million pages of discovery that they hid very salient portions of, that they obfuscated, that they redacted unnecessarily after repeated warnings. And you want to go to trial right now? Yeah, screw you, you bald-headed jerk. Let's see. Donald Trump lawyers proposed August 12th, and Cannon said, I'm not setting any trial date. Good for her. The indefinitely postponed trial hangs in the air amid a tight upcoming November election, with Trump again facing off against President Joe Biden. Debate on 27th. Yeah, we'll see about that. We'll see how the Adderall takes, okay? Beyond election matters, the date is important for the pre-trial legal proceedings, with Kersner explaining it is only once we have a trial date locked in that we can set a bunch of intermediate dates by which motions have to be filed, litigated, and resolved so we can get to a timely trial, not Judge Cannon. Listen, you dope. We got to find out if dopey ass Jack Smith has any damn business even doing what he's doing. How about that? How about that cart behind the horse? Okay? Got a Netflix movie about that? These people need to be mocked. Mocked, insulted, discounted, and eventually prosecuted. The former president pleaded not guilty, says the case is politically motivated. No kidding. Cannon was appointed by Trump in 2020, faced criticism along partisan lines, not setting a trial date. She became under fire again after the New York Times reported she declined to accuse herself. I don't know, Maggie Haberman, what is it with those trusts, overseas money going into trust accounts? All right. I don't know. I'm just asking. The same report, which was based on anonymous sources who could not be independently verified by Newsweek. Newsweek doesn't even have a hard copy anymore. They don't even print a magazine. They just put crap on the internet. Raised eyebrows in the legal community. What legal community? Georgia? 2 former federal prosecutors, Niyama Rahamamane and Gene Rossi, previously told Newsweek that judges asking another judge to recuse themselves is unusual and unheard of, respectively. Okay, I take that back. Niyama Rahamani and Gene Rossi, they sound like normal people. However, Rahami noted that this is no usual judge and case. Yeah, that's not her saying anything bad about Judge Cannon, because it is a historic case with made up, brand new, novel BS charges. How about that? Here. Rasmussen, not Fox News. There's Creepy Joe. Yeah, I'd see how that works. I wonder if they'd take me down. I wouldn't want to talk much during it because, you know, right when you say something, somebody during the debate says something important. So it would just be watching. And I don't know if they would allow me to do that. Screencast is what they call it. I would have to, that would be on CNN right now. CNN would have pretty much an exclusive for that. You know, I could snipe if somebody else is doing it. Like if NPC was doing it, I could snipe somebody else's broadcast, but you know, I support him, or I don't think they would let RSBN do it, all right, or whatever the name of it is, because it's a CNN exclusive. That's where Trump's got him over the barrel. They want those ratings. They need the ratings. Yeah, somebody asked about Nikki, and I got to put a link in their comment to her channel because he said he couldn't find her channel. But I've seen her posted on a community board. She's posted stuff on her community board. But I don't think she could, like, how would you get a CNN feed to air the debates on this channel? That's what I'm wondering. I don't think I can. I don't know. I don't know that the other channels that I watch that like do Trump speeches and stuff, I don't know that they could do it because, you know, CNN, that's a contractual thing. It's whatever. Let's see. What have I got in here? Oh, they throw these distractions out, right? And this one isn't working very good. Mysterious monolith appears in Las Vegas desert, baffling locals. We see a lot of weird things, you know. So then you have people talking about what? Talking about aliens, right? And I always say, you know, don't fall for that stuff because New York Post put this out today, right? This story and this picture. But I found this about 3 days ago. Let me find it right here. Right here. The aliens took time to pour a concrete footer. Somebody went out there with some shovels and dug the damn thing up and pushed it over. Those daggone aliens, they had rebar and concrete. Would you look at that? Would you look at that? Just take a look at that. Look at that. Oh my, would you look at that? So anyway, yeah. So much for the rebar and concrete in the mystery obelisk. Well, let's see. I'm going to take this picture down. And I've got another video that I want newbies to see. Whoopsie. Got to get my studio to behave. It's laying on the ground, the cat. It ain't no replacement. Hi, Marla. Yeah, the monolith. Well, it wasn't CGI. It was just something they stuck in the ground, concrete, trying to get everybody all worked up. So anyway, I'm going to play a video for people that remember, we've got stuff bubbling about the election that has come and gone, that people have discounted. Well, I want to see how this video is going to play. I don't know if sometimes when my stream gets old, this is the kind of crap Biden is going to have to try to defend when he goes up against Trump. I'm making a prediction that they have rehearsed and memorized all the stuff about the Trump Academy, all the stuff about E. Jean Carroll, all the stuff about the cases we're watching now, all the stuff about the one where they found him guilty of 30-some charges, everything about the his CEO getting in trouble. That's the kind of stuff they're going to try to focus on. It's all smoke and mirrors and crooked judges laying down decisions like $400 million bond and all that kind of crap. That's the route they're going to go. But this is what they're dealing with as far as immigration. Now, I played the videos with Chuck Schumer saying they're going to give the illegals the right to vote, whether it's 11 million or 20 million. You heard Biden say we had to accelerate the process and get as many in as possible. Stand right next to Bernie Sanders. Now, listen to these guys. We used to call him Mr. Potato Head. What's his name? Steele, or he used to be head of the RNC. And his little sidekick here, or she ain't little, but they're going to try to corner this guest on immigration and how Trump is gonna pick on innocent little immigrants, right? Because Trump's a meanie, right? And then you'll hear this lady correct Mr. Potato Head when he uses the term illegal. But you'll hear her slip in a correction. That's not allowed on their broadcasts. But let Biden and Fake Tapper and Dana Bash defend this attitude towards illegal.
About immigration and how you see immigration, how in this plan, how you talk about using like the National Guard to deport individuals, and what is the Alicia, and do tell me if I am adequately
people on the interior specifically,
people on the interior specifically, not people in the border, people within this country.
Well, first of all, we need to close the border. And secondly, we need to have the biggest mass deportation system ever in the history of America, because it is unjust and illegal and evil that more than 10 million illegal aliens have come to this country. It's imperative that we send those people back, invite them back to come through the legal system. We love immigrants at Heritage, but we also love the rule of law.
So how do you plan to carry that out?
Well,
are you talking about going door to door? Because that's what I could read from the plan, but I think
the first thing is that there's going to be a lot of self-deportation. The interesting thing, as you no doubt know, is that simply talking about this and beginning to implement a plan, and President Trump deserves a lot of credit for talking about this, causes people to say, I don't want to run the risk of being arrested for doing something illegal. But secondly, there are great plans using the Department of Homeland Security to return these people back to south of the border. The great thing is, even a majority of people on the political left agree with this because they see the damage that this has done.
Well, before we go,
I think we want to take a couple more minutes. So I know we're being told to wrap, but we want to take a few more minutes.
I'll stay as long as you want.
No. Just ask you real quick. So what do these people do? What are they doing now?
Which people?
The folks, the 11 million, 20 million, whatever you want to deport.
A lot of them are committing crimes like murdering the 12-year-old girl in Houston. In fact,
so that's one out of 11 million. What is
we can take the remaining time of the segment, and I can give you a lot
In
of
Texas,
examples.
undocumented immigrants were 37.1% less likely to be convicted of a crime. Undocumented immigrants, and according to a survey, University of California Riverside study, 33% less likely to be in prison as of 2021.
The young lady killed in
I'm just giving the numbers.
Well, what do you tell the parents of those people, those young girls who were killed? This is the preponderance of these people.
What is the difference between an illegal immigrant who unfortunately engages in that activity?
And we don't like that. I want to be clear. We don't use the term illegal. So undocumented individuals.
Undocumented individuals versus anyone else who commits the same crime. Well, I mean, so what you're saying is because you have this instance of individuals behaving badly, that's a reflection of every individual in that community, and that's just not the case.
No, what is the case is that because the preponderance.
I mean, what percentage of those people, the 11 million that you want to
answer your question.
I just want to clarify my question. Okay. That's what I'm trying to do. What percentage of those individuals that you want to get rid of, move out of the country, actually commit crimes?
Our analysis in Texas, Georgia, and New York shows that a preponderance of the illegals who have come in
I don't know what's that number.
Are unattached male, and there are unattached males, and the disproportionate number of them are people who are not even making any attempt to be illegal.
What is that number?
Obviously,
are you talking 10 out of 1,000, or are you talking? I'm just trying to get.
Well, I just would say, and if Alicia were sitting here and you could hear her, she would say that you are weaponizing a horrific murder to smear 11 million people.
That is a laughable assertion. What Joe Biden is doing is weaponizing the entire.
Before we let you go, Dr. Roberts.
Ain't that something? We're weaponizing a horrific red rum. That's the only reason he's bringing it up. But you can see they double teamed him. It's a coordinated effort to get their viewers at least to accept the notion of all these people being able to vote except for the most serious of criminals. Everyone that they've been accelerating to the border, okay? That is their goal. And Trump is going to bring it up, expose it. If he doesn't do it this debate, he'll be doing it in another debate. We'll see which way they go. But I want to play on the way out. If there's anybody, now this is something Mr. T put up, the words aren't so much important as the words are much more important than what is print on the screen. So Nevada was won by Mr. T in 2-0 and then 2-0, period. This is a certified state official who has testified in front of Congress, and you'll hear the verified discrepancies of 130,000 votes, and the reason they were invalid and or illegal votes. And it's just a matter of time before a court hears it, the Supreme Court or whatever. We got Nevada. We got everything bubbling up in Georgia. We got stuff bubbling up in Pennsylvania. We've caught criminals in New Jersey. We caught criminals in where was it? Was it Maine? I can't remember. We caught them in so many different places. See if anybody in the chat remembers. Where did we get them four election officials or election characters? And well, anyway, it's going down. This is a synopsis of everything that was hoodooed. I'll put it that way. In Nevada, Trump won it. Everybody knows it. I'm going to play for you on the way out. I appreciate you all spending your precious time with me. I want to thank Robin. I want to thank Richard. I want to thank Roland. I want to thank Gary. I want to thank Miss Mintersu. I want to thank Lone Wolf. Everybody that's helped out with Buy Me a Coffee to support this channel. I got a link in the description. And it works after the broadcast also. And Bev and Mike, appreciate all that. So many people in the chats I've seen that have helped out. Let's see. I know Pappy Two Bears helped out before. Everybody, and if for free, you help the channel by giving me a thumbs up. And if you're not subscribed, subscribe and hit the notification bell so you know when I go live. And we can all get together soon. Okay, folks, I'll play this video for you. Y'all have a great night. This is Mountain Man, over and out.
42,000 people in Nevada voted more than once, according to your work in this. 42,000 people. 1,500 people voted in Nevada that were dead. 19,000 people voted though they did not live in Nevada and they weren't a college student. 8,000 people voted from a non-existent address. 15,000 people voted though they were registered to a commercial address or a vacant address. And 4,000 people voted in Nevada that are non-citizens. My question to you is, in my state, when someone votes twice, and we do have that occasionally, and about 50 times a year that actually occurs in our state, we prosecute individuals that vote twice. Of this 130,000 instances that you have identified from the 2020 election in Nevada, do you know of any prosecutions currently going on in Nevada for any voter fraud?
Not yet.